I'm just going to share a little bit about my story, where I was a year ago at this time. I was in Peru. I was actually in the Amazon. I had gone there to practice some plant medicine with some traditional indigenous healers in the Amazon of Peru. And I arrived in the beginning of March with the intention of staying for 2 weeks. And on March 15th, I got news. I heard there was something going on in China, but it was, the other side of the world. It was nothing serious for me. And on March 15th, they locked down the entire country. They closed the borders. You could not leave or come back into Peru. They closed the airlines, they closed the buses, they stopped all transportation. This was despite the fact that there had actually not even been a case yet in the country. So I was like, I'm safe here, I'll stay here, there's no cases, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. A couple more weeks, no biggie. It turned into another 2 months. I was living in the forest with no electricity, no running water, but it was actually very beautiful, it was very therapeutic, and I learned a lot. Due to my lack of access to the internet, I didn't know right away that this was a lie. I believed it, but one thing that was clear to me on the very first day, I'm not sure how, but I knew right away that this was the start of an awakening. That's what came to me right away. I said, this is it. I thought, the earth is giving us this virus or something to wake us up. So I used that time, the next 2 months, to work on myself and make sure I was clearing myself and be prepared to come back into this world, this new world. And that's been at the foundation of my mission, and most of the people I think that are coming to these as well for the last year. It's not just about the masks, and it's not just about, the government and the tyranny. This is really fundamentally at its core, it's an awakening, because this didn't just start a year ago out of the blue, like we were living in some wonderful fantasy world, and then out of nowhere, here comes this evil plan to take over the human race. We already had this illness in our society. It was present already in our systems, and it's coming to the surface now. And we have a lot of names for, people trying to figure out who's behind all this. We say the cabal, the Illuminati, the deep state. We have all sorts of names. We really don't truly know, because we can't see these people, we can't see these beings. But the reason we know they're there is from the systems that they've put in place. You can see it in the government, you can see it in the healthcare, you can see it in the news media, you can see it in the education system, you can see it all around, and now it's just becoming more obvious, and we're being pushed to shine a light on this illness that has been infected in our society on so many levels. And what we're being pushed to do, every one of us here, is to step into our sovereignty, because we've been taught that authority comes from outside of us, that the government has some kind of authority over us, that doctors are the caretakers and guardians of our health. And these are all lies and misconceptions that many of us had just accepted for a very long time, for probably many generations. And these are coming to the surface, so while it may seem like things are getting worse, it's actually, in my opinion, getting better, because the harder they try to crack down on us, the harder they try to censor us, the harder they move forward with their agenda, it shows the fear that they have. They're scared of us because of the power that we represent, because when every one of us is in our power and we recognize that we are a sovereign being and we are our own authority. What is authority? I just thought of this morning. The word authority has the word author in it. So we are the authority of our own lives. We are the authors of our own lives. We are creators. We are master manifestors. Yeah. And this is what is happening in the world now. We're manifesting, and even just here, we've manifested a community here. I know a lot of people here already. We come here every week. We're manifesting relationships. And so we are we are the front line of this movement, and we're here to spread it, and we're here to show the rest of the world, the people that have accepted, they're still living in the old system. You can see they're starting to question it, and they're starting to get tired of it, and they've had enough of it, and they're going to need our help. So we have to show them by example that there's a better way, because it takes courage to break free of the old system and take responsibility for your own life and take responsibility for your own health and for your freedom. It does take courage, because it was easier for the longest time to just allow somebody else to do it for us, and we could go about in our little worlds. As long as they didn't bother us too much, we were okay with it. But that system is not going to work anymore. There's no going back, and there's no middle ground. Okay? So our speakers here today we have some great speakers here today. We're gonna share some of their stories as well about what they've been through. First speaker we have is a lady named Laura. And I actually just found her on Facebook, and I saw her bio says, "This is one lady who's going to do everything before she dies." And I said, "Well, would you like to speak in front of a freedom rally then before you die? You can add that to your list." She said, "Yes." So welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Ryan and Joni. It's a fantastic, exciting time to be alive right now. Have you guys noticed that? Yeah! Woo! Yes!